Welcome to the GC Students Daily Devo podcast, where you'll hear devotions that will challenge you with God's Word and its application to your life. I'm your host, Dave Minster, and let's dive in.
Over spring break a couple years ago, I went on a mission trip with my high school to Romania. While I was in Romania, I participated in a 3-on-3 basketball tournament. We played in 6 consecutive games to 21, and I barely had any water in between games. We eventually made it to the championship game. And when I say that I was out of energy, I mean that I was running on empty. There's nothing that I wanted more than cold water. I asked my team to throw me a water bottle, and I got extremely excited. To my surprise, though, when I opened up the water and started to drink it, it was sparkling water. And I hate sparkling water. There's nothing worse than expecting that my thirst will be satisfied, yet getting disappointed because it was terrible water. In John 4, Jesus comes to a water well and begins to talk to a woman about a specific type of water. Jesus says in verse 13 that everyone who drinks of this water from the well will be thirsty again, but whoever drinks of the water that I will give him will never be thirsty again. To provide some context to this passage, Jesus stops in a small town in Samaria. A Samaritan woman comes to the well where Jesus stopped to rest. The Jews and the Samaritans wanted nothing to do with each other. Jesus asked this Samaritan woman, who he's not supposed to interact with, to get him water from the well. This is where Jesus says these words to the woman about living water. The living water in this passage is such a cool analogy. The living water that Jesus talks about is not actual water. It is the water that satisfies our spiritual thirst. It is interesting that Jesus uses this analogy with this woman in particular. The text goes on to say that Jesus asked the woman to bring her husband to the well. She replied that she does not have a husband. This is true because Jesus reveals the woman has had 5 husbands, and the person she is with is not currently her husband. She has been using various men to fill her desires, and when she is not satisfied anymore, she moves on. This is no different than us today. Although we may be not searching for satisfaction in the same way as the woman at the well, we pursue different things in order to find satisfaction. Maybe we search after people's approval in real life or on social media. Maybe we're searching for satisfaction in a relationship with someone. Or maybe searching after satisfaction through lust and pornography. Each of these things that we may be pursuing never actually satisfies because we keep going back to them for temporary satisfaction. The beauty of what Jesus says in this passage is that he is the living water. And when we pursue after him, we will never thirst again because we are satisfied in him. My challenge to you today is a 2-part challenge. First, examine your life. What are you going back to again and again trying to find satisfaction in? Second, have a conversation about this with someone who is walking with you in your faith. Oftentimes, it is extremely hard to be real with ourselves when it comes to things we desire and pursue. When we are open about what is taking us away from Christ, it allows us as a community to push each other to pursue after the one who actually does satisfy our desires. When we have Jesus, we have everything we need. When we drink of the water that allows us to never be thirsty again, our lives change as we no longer pursue dissatisfying things, but instead we pursue after the one who gives us life and satisfaction.
Thanks for spending some time today to be challenged by Jesus. It would be a huge help to this podcast if you subscribe to it and shared it with your friends. Thanks.